we are live for the next community call. Everything is going well. So, and very happy, to have strong supporters and founding members and founding members of SwissAssetDAO. So this is really awesome. And what I would recommend actually that we just wait a little bit for a few seconds actually, because usually kind of people need a little bit of time to join, and then kind of I will track things on LinkedIn. We're streaming on 4 platforms, so just for ourselves and everyone. For LinkedIn, where we usually get most of the people kind of joining, listening. On Twitter, where also quite a few people do it, join. YouTube, and on Facebook. So it's going out on 4 different channels. So that we are aware of that, and I'm very happy. Usually kind of a lot of people join. So happy to hear actually. Do people see us? And I think that slowly they see us. Okay. Yes. Good. We are live and everything is going well there. So really awesome to have the next community call happening. And today we have Jamie with us that I'm sure a lot of everybody actually should know of. We are very active in this space, and Simon as well. But what I would recommend actually kind of for people who kind of don't know you, I think definitely, Simon, I think your first time on the community call, it would be awesome if you can share about yourself, your background, what are you working on, what attracted you to SwissAssetDAO, and what's your interest here. And, I think that would be awesome. And Jamie as well, if you want. I'm sure everybody knows you, Jamie, but if you want, you can also enjoy yourself as well. Yeah. Yes. So take it off, guys. Happy to give you the word. Yeah.
Sure. Jamie, do you want to go first, or shall I?
You go ahead, Simon. I'll just I'll do a quick one.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, hi everyone. My name is Simon. I am one of the latest founding members. I think I was approved about 2 weeks ago. Just to give you a little bit about my background, I spent the last 14 years actually outside of Switzerland. I was living in New York and then in Singapore, and I just recently relocated back to Switzerland about 3.5 months ago. My background is originally in banking. I used to work for quite some time for UBS, investment banking side, and then wealth management. And I switched over into fintech 2017, 2018, something like that. And right now I'm working together with a company called 1000 Steps, and we do sales and BD for companies in the fintech space, but also in the blockchain and crypto space. So I'll leave it at that. Feel free to look me up on LinkedIn, connect with me, and send me a message. I'm always available to jump on a Zoom call and get to know you guys as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Oops. Awesome. Thanks a lot, Simon. Maybe can I ask you if you can share kind of what attracted you to SwissAssetDAO? You mentioned that you are a founding member. Kind of what was the motivation, and where do you see your also role and help actually in SwissAssetDAO? To give you the word again, yeah.
Absolutely. So before I moved back to Switzerland, I was living in Singapore, and I reconnected with Michael Ray while we were over there. We started talking about the issues and the challenges about RWA. And when Michael told me about SwissAssetDAO, I told him, look, I'd be really interested in joining the community. On one side, to help out with my skill set and with what we do at 1000 Steps, but on the other hand, to really get into the details around RWA, the challenges around it, and how to solve them.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Simon, and welcome, and really great to have you.
Thank you.
And always good to have friendly faces around SwissAssetDAO. So that's awesome. Thank you. Jamie, I know that a lot of people know you at SwissAssetDAO, but also maybe to give you the word, because you have been an extremely active member of SwissAssetDAO, the community. I think a lot of people see it through the social media platforms, through the Telegram channel, but if you were comfortable, maybe to give you the words as well, kind of where have you been the most active behind, as much as you are comfortable sharing behind the scenes. And maybe you can also tell us where you are going to be very soon speaking as well, if you feel comfortable with that. Yeah, I give the word to you.
Yeah. Okay, so just the quick snapshot for those who haven't met me before. I'm an Aussie based in the Netherlands. I worked for 20 years for banks in Singapore, Hong Kong, Australia, and the Netherlands doing structured finance, financial engineering. I found crypto and more specifically tokenization about 4 years ago in a loan tokenization startup. We were looking to tokenize loans, make them available to institutional investors. I think we were way too early. We didn't get there, obviously. I filled in a bit of a gap over the last 18 months working with some early stage startups in this space, and found Anton and Michael in Zug at a Searchia event back in June, where SwissAssetDAO was unveiled, and it seemed very much back in my sweet spot, working with some clever and serious people, working, using similar technology that I've looked at before, which is sort of the tokenization of real world assets. Since then, I've been helping out with some matters to do with Treasury, working very closely with Chris Popoff and Tamlin and others on sort of building out a bit of a strategy for the Treasury. Also, the financial engineering involved with the DAO, including a range of SPVs that we may use to repackage assets. Also, sort of working out who we can partner up with to do pilots with or to source assets from. So that's sort of some of the activities. I think this is a nice crossover between my long history in financial engineering and banks and sort of Web3. So that's me.
Jamie, would you be comfortable sharing where you're going to speak fairly soon?
Oh, sorry,
give
yes.
a little bit of us
Yes,
where we can see you. I pass the word to you.
Yeah, sure. I put this on the Telegram channel, but there is an event in Amsterdam on the 2nd of November called Chain Forum. I'll be one of the speakers there to discuss SwissAssetDAO and the future of making RWAs available on chain. So happy to send that material around to anyone who's interested. So just hit me up on LinkedIn or elsewhere. But it's on the Telegram channel for 180 odd of you.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Jamie. And also just to say to everyone who is either in Netherlands or coming there to connect with Jamie, I think it would be a great opportunity to meet more people from SwissAssetDAO in person. And to give you kind of a little bit of a background as well, that we have been strongly promoting SwissAssetDAO here in Dubai, where I am, visiting GITEX, but also a few other conferences like Future Blockchain Summit and ABC Conclave, where I want to thank the organizers for inviting us to spread the word and share the word about real world assets, about DAOs, and feedback has been very, very positive and very good. And maybe also as a teaser to say that tomorrow is the launch of RAKDAO. So one of the Emiratis is actually taking a strategic view on DAOs and wants to attract DAOs globally to come to UAE. And tomorrow they have the launch party. I mean, that's a good description actually, by the way, but let me rephrase it. Launch event. And want to say that very happy to say that we are in touch with the CEO of RAKDAO. So it's called RAKDAO.
How do we spell that,
Anton? Very good point. So
okay.
It's RAK DAO. Yeah? So that's a very good point, and you will hear more announcements. I will also share it on social media and our Telegram on our channels. So if you're there, hit me up. Introduce yourself, and I promise to be kind and nice and welcoming, and that we can connect. I think that's very important, for us to connect, since we mostly operate are dealing with us in the digital world. To the point that I have never seen Jamie. So, I mean, we saw each other, Jamie, briefly at Czechia, but, afterwards, many months now, only digitally, which is
It would be good to catch up in real life, yeah.
It would be good to chat. Yeah, cool. So maybe that was kind of like an introduction. And just to say to everyone, I'm definitely checking your comments on our social media. So saying hi to everyone, Becky, we see it, Payal, Christoph, Georg, and Carlos, we see you. And happy, that you're waving at us. And we just also want to stress to the audience, everybody tuning in and listening, if you have any question, please write it. Or even if you want to join directly into the studio, just let us know, write me. I can provide you a link. It's already in our Telegram channel. Always, the more the merrier, and feel free to welcome, to join us. So now kind of we have addressed that today. Just wanted to open up a discussion today and discuss, 3 matters to provide a little bit of an update where we're on the fundraising side, which is obviously at the moment mostly revolving around creating the data room and the deck and the financial planning and everything that goes with fundraising for a grant in particular. A bit of a discussion that we have with certain L1s. And then I think also what I wanted to touch upon briefly as well around the memberships. So a lot of the membership confirmations have gone out, but some have received them, some have not received them. So I want to flag that as well. Mention, that we have now a full-blown membership program in place, which is now on the paid side, right? So we have closed the funding memberships. And maybe also discuss a little bit, we have a special guest in one of the following community calls from SwissAssetDAO, which is it's actually the most well-known crypto project in KSA, in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, dealing with Islamic or Sharia compliant financial products. So this is just high level what I wanted to kind of stress. And maybe to dive right in, actually, to give you an update on the fundraising side. So first, we had a lot of work with regards to the financial planning. So how does the SwissAssetDAO business model look like? How does it actually evolve? Obviously, SwissAssetDAO's business model in the end will be very much mostly AUM based. So on the right side, we have the memberships for the corporates, for the individuals. We expect there to have some revenues and make it, more sustainable. Obviously, some advisory mandates, consulting side where we want to help projects. But in the end, what we really need to do is provide access to real world assets. And the more AUM we enable to access real world assets, the more successful we'll be to contributing and adding value to the crypto ecosystem. So kind of if you reflect on it, AUM-based businesses. I also, Jamie, would love that you jump in because you have a lot of experience on the structuring side, how it works in the TradFi. But kind of the expectation is basically that we would, we are an AUM-based business actually. So, and the more we enable DAOs to invest in world assets, the better for everyone. Yeah? So this is kind of my high-level explanation. Maybe Jamie, you want to take over, and I'll have to charge my battery, and then so I don't go offline. And then happy and then
well, I think you're dealing with potentially sort of 2 different communities there. So if you're dealing with sort of traditional asset managers, they have obviously a traditional way of doing things, and they are by nature relatively conservative. That was the target market I was looking at 4 years ago, and they're very slow in the decision making, and it was too early then. And I think there's still some work to do on that front. There are, of course, a number of institutional investors who are at the forefront of that, and I don't have the sort of short list in front of me, but groups like Fidelity Asset, Digital Asset Management, etc. And when it comes to the native crypto investors, I think this is actually the perfect place to start. And if this was available 4 years ago, I think the project that I was working on would have had a much easier time. So you're dealing now with crypto native investors with relatively large balance sheets who are desperately, well, I should say, they should be desperately in need of yield, given that the bottom has fallen out of yield in DeFi markets. And in the meantime, of course, US dollar rates have gone up. So, there's no natural yield the natural yield in crypto has gone way down, whereas the natural yield in the real world has gone up. So there is a push, I think, for us to fill the gap between now and institutional adoption with native crypto investors. So that's sort of how I see it. And when it comes to the structuring, I think we're trying to build something institutional grade to address the sorts of concerns that institutional investors would typically have. We're talking here about going back to real world financial engineering, including compartmentalized securitization vehicles in various jurisdictions with best-in-class infrastructure surrounding it.
Awesome.
There you go. That's enough from me, Anton.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks a lot, Jamie. And I really appreciate that you literally also provided a lot of historical, in the crypto sense, historical background. Yeah. And I can just say is that I use your argument very often when I talk to the.
Well, it's your argument that I'm using there, Anton.
No, it's mutual. It's mutual. So
we're working together on this.
Exactly. This is a team effort, actually. So definitely a team effort. And I have to say that this is something that a lot of crypto players can very much relate. They really tell me, they nod their head when they say, probably because they have used a lot of BlockFi's, Voyagers, Genesis, Celsius, Geminis, to get that yield, and that they nod their head when we say that. And then they connect the dots when we say, well, the US, for instance, an example, US government bonds, the yield is quite attractive at 6%.
Yeah.
What I also want to say is two matters. We have to really always emphasize the urgency, because if there's an economic downturn in 1 year, maybe longer or shorter, the rates might go down as well. So we have to also educate the crypto community to look outside of that narrow spectrum of government bonds in terms of the yield coming from real world assets, which I think will involve a lot of education, because we have to kind of explain to them the opportunities, the private equity space, which, Jamie, I'm sure you know very well, real estate portfolio, kind of all of this, a bit more exotic things, where we might end up very quickly. And maybe I got one remark kind of saying to reaffirm the notion of not getting an easily yield in the crypto space. I got two interesting feedbacks. One is that there is a kind of quasi-natural yield in the crypto space in the context of the Lightning Network, because when you, let's use the language, stake your Bitcoins in the Lightning Network, as the Bitcoins are moved around in the Lightning Network, you get a fraction of that fee. So that's your natural interest rate, but it's highly underdeveloped, and it's actually very low. The same goes for Ethereum. The staking rate on Ethereum has now gone down a lot, and it's hovering around 2-3%. So again, highly uncompetitive compared to real world assets. So just wanted to kind of flag it. This is not my argument, actually. I heard it from a very good friend of mine who's very into the crypto space for a long time. But I think it's a very good point, when we talk to people, that we educate them kind of where can we get natural crypto yield and why it's low at the moment. Yeah. So just wanted to thank you that. Simon, if you want to add something on the with regards to that, I'm happy to pass the word to you as well. Yeah.
No, that's fine, Anton. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Pleasure. So I think, it was great actually now to have this input, kind of how SwissAssetDAO will function as a business from a revenue perspective. So we did this modeling, and today I want to thank Eugene, who was working, a lot in. Eugene is one of our founding members who's been working very hard on the financial modeling side, and also has created a very nice plan, and also kind of I had an interesting discussion how to make SwissAssetDAO actually a sustainable business model from a venture perspective, actually, because we have to be interesting to people who want to contribute and add value to SwissAssetDAO. So financial planning is now finalized, or being finalized actually today. So it's there. And next phase is actually to complete our deck. I have showed the community a poor man's version of a deck some weeks ago, but we made some progress there. And just as a promise to our community, you should expect a full-blown deck, which will be a 10-pager, not longer than that, because this is the requirement for us, that we can then submit to for a grant with an L1, layer 1 blockchain, layer 1. And basically, the goal is to approach the ones that are very close to us, both physically, namely in Switzerland, but also kind of through our community, and request a grant that would kind of propel SwissAssetDAO to a bigger scale, but also more sustainable. Because at the moment, for full transparency, SwissAssetDAO has really operated on a fully volunteer basis with zero payment. So that's I also want to thank actually all of the community members who are taking the time, like you, Jamie, like you, Simon. You're really taking your valuable time. You're highly skilled individuals and contributing to SwissAssetDAO, and you want to change that. And also make this more sustainable, and have it on a compensation basis involvement. So just that everybody knows this is a key goal to make it sustainable. Yeah. So this is a bit of an update on the fundraising side, guys. If you want to add something, happy to pass the word to you, and then we can kind of move on to the membership side. Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, cool. So with regards to the memberships, I want to actually, really, I have to say I'm super happy that slowly we're reaching out to everyone and slowly onboarding everyone as founding members. And I just want to on this take this opportunity to tell to our community and kindly invite you to check the spam folder as well, because we have actually gotten several reminders from our passionate community saying that we need to complete the onboarding. And in some cases, it was indeed the case that we did not complete the onboarding because we're still processing the founding member applications. But also invite you that, if you think you should have been onboarded so far, please check your spam folder. It might be hiding with a present, not junk like usual, but a present, which is the confirmation of onboarding as a founding member of SwissAssetDAO. So just wanted to raise awareness there. Please check your spam folder, and hopefully there's a present in there for the first time ever. So to say that, and then also to really raise awareness around the membership. So the founding membership has been closed now, and now we actually have a full-blown program where you can actually still approach and become a member of SwissAssetDAO, not a founding now anymore. And we really invite you to go to our website, which you can see here, actually on the other side, sorry, SwissAssetDAO.org. You have a button, become a member, and then you see you have individual memberships for NGOs, for corporates, big and small, and hopefully you find your place and your home in one of those membership packages. So just wanted to flag and raise awareness with that. That's all that I wanted to mention with regards to the memberships. Guys, if you want to add something, this is just kind of very briefly what I wanted to flag. Okay. Maybe you can share for those who haven't experienced onboarding as a founding member how it was, so they can get a bit of an impression, how it works and what to expect usually.
Well, I can kick it off. I think it's very easy, and I think I think some of the members had wanted to ensure that people's personal data was, of course, very tightly held and very carefully managed. And I think I certainly got comfortable that was the case. And so, in terms of the process, it was very straightforward. Just some very basic identification. Photos of some ID items, and that was more or less it. I don't know what you want me to say, Anton. It was easy. I could have said it in one word. It was easy.
All good. That's it. Yes, that's it. That's what I needed. It's easy. Awesome. Simon, maybe you can also add
words around it, but it was easy. Okay.
Yes, that's what we need. Awesome, Simon. How was your experience?
I mean, mine was similar to what Jamie said. It was really straightforward. Couple of days in terms of waiting till the confirmation actually came in, and I think I think there's a good balance between getting members onboarded as fast as possible, but on the other hand, also doing like a limited the essentials in terms of, if you want to call it like that, a KYC, so that you actually know who's being onboarded. So I think it was really good, Anton.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the points to note is, it gets described as a KYC from time to time, but I think it's really just an identification process at this point. Is that? I mean, Anton, I think you're much closer to the process. It's certainly not sort of full blown. We need to see your bank account details or anything like that. But,
yes. Yeah. I'm so happy you say it because this was actually a very important message that I'm happy that you confirmed, because I actually tell to many people who ask me about SwissAssetDAO and becoming a member, I actually say, we know who our members are because this is in line with the Swiss law also. And then I have, not often, but sometimes it happens, but I thought you were full blown, you're not a real DAO. That's actually, sometimes I get that sentence, which I'm not clear what it means. But, kind of there's I think, perception of strong friction, actually, of becoming a member and identifying yourself. And I think, Simon and Jamie, you said it the best. It's a super light KYC, but with not a lot of personal disclosure. And this is also what I really wanted to communicate, that, to our community, that it's a very light process. We invite you, become a member. It's awesome. And, we have a great community. So really welcoming you. Having said that, on the corporate side, it will be different because you actually have to identify if it's a corporate entity, the ultimate beneficial owners, and there it becomes a bit more work, to be honest. And that's also where we feel the best that going forward, kind of as this ramps up, we need to have a professional service, both as well, on the individual side, but also on the corporate side, where it will be, it's a really serious compliance work. So just wanted to flag that people have awareness. So become a SwissAssetDAO member. We're waiting for you. Ping me or go to our website directly, and looking forward to having you there. Awesome. Cool. And so we have covered this topic. And then the last topic, just to mention that today we have awesome community members on the call, which is great. So thank you very much for joining. But also what we're trying to do is bring the DAO ecosystem closer together. So we are by no means a competition with anyone, because this is a rapidly growing space. And also I think the unique selling proposition of SwissAssetDAO is the focus on real-world assets, which makes us very, very unique in the DAO ecosystem, actually. But also wanted to say that, in light of that, happy to say that in one of the next community calls, we're going to have a special guest, or a guest actually, Morad from Taka DAO. So Morad is one of the most well-known and most successful entrepreneurs, fintech entrepreneurs out of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And he's running now Taka DAO, which is also a DAO in its own way, how it functions. I still need to talk to Morad and the team, how it actually works in the back on the legal side. But I have to say that, I'm also kind of like a member of Taka DAO, so I got my NFT that I can watch in my wallet. So I have a very nice, cool picture, which I think it's a great idea to, when you become a member, you kind of get like an NFT. It makes it more, blockchain crypto related. So I don't know, guys, how you feel that we do something like the same, because I think it would be quite cool. But I just wanted to mention, that in one of the next calls, we'll have Morad on our community call, one of the most well-known fintech entrepreneurs from Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and now he's doing very cool stuff with Taka DAO on the Sharia-compliant product side. So in the crypto space, by the way. So this is a crypto product, not a fintech product, actually. So I just wanted to kind of share that. So, and we will promote it and announce it. But this is kind of what I wanted to flag. And I don't know, guys, how you think about it, but I think it would be very cool to kind of have as a, to uplift the community and make a proposal here that maybe the founding members or all the members get an NFT, on Polygon, where it's fairly cheap to do it, and maybe some cool, symbolic value in there. I think it would be quite a cool idea, actually.
Yep, agree. Yeah, I think it's a nice thing to have, as long as it's not necessarily essential for people to sort of access their rights, etc. But it's a nice to have rather than a need to have. And when it comes to Sharia compliant activities, I just so you know, I tried to set up a Sharia compliant lending platform within one of the banks I worked at. So I'd love to chat to Murat about that. Might have some things to do together.
Awesome. Yeah. Simon, what are your thoughts? Or have you had any other experience with other DAOs that you get some kind of a NFT or something with symbolic value for your membership? Right?
Hey, look, I mean, I'd be open to that. To be quite honest with you, I use my involvement here with SwissAssetDAO to really get up to speed with all the details. So if that's an option, I'm definitely up for it. Happy to learn more about that as well.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Yeah. So yeah, I think also, I would be very much up for it. I think also happy to explore it over the weekend, how we can do it. I know it's like slowly forward, actually on Polygon, you have actually even tools how to do it. I think even with the context of Snapshot, which is like a DAO platform, I think you can also create your NFTs there. I think like Jamie, you make a very interesting point. Like, can we actually enable people that through their specific membership DAO, we enable on-chain governance for SwissAssetDAO. I know that at some point we tried to look into it. I don't know where the verdict is at the moment. I think it's unclear, right? Yeah. How to do it?
I think it's a project in process. I think Simon might be looking into that at the moment. Yes. I don't want to volunteer him for something if he's not working on it, but I think Simon Heiselbrecht, yes. I think it is. Anyway, I think he's looking at it.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. I guess all I was going to say, and this actually may not make sense now that I'm about to say it out loud, but all I was going to say was, when it comes to NFTs, I think we do have a range of, if you've got crypto natives like Anton at one end, you do have a range of people with experience, hands-on with dealing with NFTs and other sort of crypto assets. And I was going to say, it'd be nice to be able to help those people through the process, if indeed NFTs were necessary for voting. you know, as I'm saying this out loud, I realize we probably have to connect a wallet to vote on chain anyway. So perhaps I'm smoking dope over here. But it was really just to help some people who are not necessarily crypto native and who are here to help out and learn along the way. And be nice to be able to provide them with whatever assistance they need.
Yes. Yeah, thanks a lot, Jamie. I think, you know, that's a good remark for me as well, that we have to have awareness that, you know, there's a lot of education. And not only we want to provide access to real world assets, we want to actually provide access and onboard a lot of people into the world, into the crypto world, which brings its own opportunities and challenges with the education, creating wallets, and seed phrases and all these other stuff nobody wants to deal with. So which is be, you know, a big challenge for us, and thank you for flagging it, because I think it's important that we have sensitivity and understanding for all of the community members.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome, cool, awesome. Yeah, thanks a lot. So this is it from me, guys. If you want to add something, actually, I think we have slowly covered our topic. Simon, happy to pass the word to you, and we also wanted to thank you as well for joining the community call and having you live. I think it was awesome.
Thank you for having me, Anton. Thanks very much.
Yeah, you're the host with the most, Anton. Thank you very much.
Yes. Okay, awesome.
Host with the most.
So thanks a lot. I think that's it, actually.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, actually. We don't have any questions further, but if you have, please, we still have an opportunity afterwards, a question or a comment. I see flag that he still hasn't received his confirmation. We'll get on it. Thank you very much for and thank you, Jamie. Tell you how happy I am that I wasn't alone, because it sucks to tell you that. So really, it's really different experience than today. So thank you, appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Anton.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.